Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Tuesday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were in action on yesterday, taking on the Golden State Warriors in what some would call a very pivotal game in this series. I would say it was a pivotal game as well because the last thing that the Los Angeles Lakers wanted to do on yesterday was to let the Golden State Warriors steal home court advantage back and tie the series up 2-2, and that is what the Golden State Warriors were looking to do early on in that game on yesterday. And just as I predicted, just like last series against Memphis, that the Lakers would go out and take care of business and go up in the series 3-1. I did predict last series Lakers in 6 the same way it played out, and I'm predicting this the same way, although I'm not so sure that there will even be a game back in LA. That's how confident I am that the Lakers can go in there and take care of business. The only way that I don't think it would happen would be because the Lakers would let their guard down and just feel a little bit too comfortable. But like Future always says, better not get too comfortable. You better not get too comfortable, because if they do that, then they could be in a little bit of trouble, because the last thing you want to do is give a championship team life. And that's exactly what they would do if they happen to go back to Los Angeles, which I still have no doubt in my mind that they would close it out. But I'm just starting to say, and the reason why I'm saying this is because all of the adjustments that have been made, I won't say I've never seen a series with this many adjustments, but this has been a series to remember as far as the adjustments that's changed from game to game, as far as the way the Lakers have guarded Steph Curry, whether they were dropping, whether they were on pick and roll, whether they were dropping on pick and roll, whether they were blitzing pick and roll, whether they were switching on pick and roll at times, just depending on what the Golden State Warriors did. Of course, the Golden State Warriors made a lot of different lineup changes as well to try to counter some of the things that the Lakers were doing defensively. And of course, you saw that when initially, even though they said Lonnie was under the weather, when they started Jermichael Green over Trayvon Lonnie. And then, of course, even on yesterday, they came out with a different starting lineup, going extremely small and inserting none other than Gary Payton II into the lineup. And we all know that came out by Shams, tweeted that hours before the game, much to the dismay of Steve Kerr. A lot of people saying there's a rat within the organization. A lot of people, of course, are saying it's Draymond because of his little crush on LeBron or whatever he got going on, his man crush, who knows? But I don't think that to be the case. It's a lot of people, just like when Draymond fired on Jordan Poole. Who leaked that? You know, anybody going to leak something with a certain amount of money. So, you know, you just got to keep things under wraps. But, you know, I feel like, you know, certain organizations, if you say it stays within the locker room, then it stays within the locker room. And that just simply wasn't the case on yesterday. Not saying that even by announcing that changed a whole lot for the Los Angeles Lakers. But as far as their game plan was concerned, especially hours before the game, there's still not a lot of time to prepare and see what the Golden State Warriors are going to do and get something on film. However, what we noticed on yesterday, the key primary adjustments, because we saw last game that the Lakers, you know, they switched on occasion, but for the most part, they still kept playing drop coverage with Anthony Davis hedging out, coming out to blitz on most times to the post man to on Steph Curry, and then try to get back on the short roll and get back in position for the roll man at times. And he was using his hands so actively in the passing lanes, not allowing Steph Curry to drop the ball off neatly into the lane for an easy two-point play. But if you notice on yesterday, the Golden State Warriors said that they were going to score more in the paint, and that is exactly what they did. And what I noticed what they were doing is when Steph Curry was getting Anthony Davis back into high pick and roll situations, bringing Anthony Davis out of the paint, he wasn't allowing Anthony Davis to recover, because when he came out, he was going horizontally more towards the sidelines, causing Austin Reeves to come over with him. And then that was leaving easy passes down into the paint. And we all know Steph Curry had hella assists on yesterday. As a matter of fact, I think, 13, 14 assists on yesterday was Steph Curry. And I mean, he really had the triple dub. He just had it going all over the place in the first half, and they kept running back screens and back cuts, just taking advantage of the Lakers coming out on Steph Curry numerous times throughout the game. And one thing I will say about that is it is better to give up 2 points to the Warriors than it is to give up 3 points to the Warriors. But man, this was a total team effort on yesterday. But of course, we're going to give shouts out to Lonnie Walker IV and what he was able to do in that fourth quarter. Of course, LeBron saying afterwards that they probably would not have won that game. I think he said they would not no probably. They would not have won the game without Lonnie Walker IV. And I want to talk about that as part of Darvin Ham's adjustments, because I think, you know, even playing in that garbage time, I think in game 2, when they lost in the blowout, he saw Lonnie Walker was still out there playing ready, even though it wasn't against, you know, necessarily Golden State starters, even though they left their starters in a little bit longer. But nobody was saying they were stat padding when they was playing a little bit longer in the fourth quarter in the last game in the blowout. Nobody said that. But at the end of the day, you know, the adjustment was made to bring in Lonnie Walker, and Lonnie Walker did his thing. And I think it was because some of the defensive prowess that Lonnie Walker was showing on the other side of the ball. He's always been a good offensive player for the Lakers since he came over from San Antonio. He started 30-some-odd games for the Lakers throughout the year, and a lot of people were clamoring for him to get some playing time. To me, I was much higher on Rui Hachimura, and I think going forward, I definitely think Rui needs to get some of that playing time. But definitely, I think Lonnie Walker has earned more playing time over Troy Brown, who kind of took his playing minutes at the trade deadline, because out of all the players that were still with the Lakers who didn't lose playing time, it was Troy Brown, because he took most of Lonnie Walker's playing time because he was actually playing good on defense and was knocking down open threes. But Troy Brown hasn't been able to buy a bucket in the Memphis series, nor has he been able to buy a bucket in this Golden State series. And if you're not going to be able to buy a bucket and you were giving up, you're having trouble chasing around screens when you're getting matched up on Clay at different times. Of course, Rui Hachimura, that's why Rui only played, 13 minutes on yesterday. And of course, Lonnie Walker got, a lot more minutes on yesterday. That is because Lonnie Walker can chase through screens, shoot the gap, and stay glued to a body, unlike Rui Hachimura, who is a great wing defender, mind you, and he is going to come up big against Phoenix. If the Phoenix Suns can somehow get past the Denver Nuggets, he'll come up big in that series. And even if it's against Denver, he would come up big in that series, guarding Gordon. So at the end of the day, you know, he is going to be valuable going forward. But I like the chess match using Lonnie Walker, because he didn't get ready. He stayed ready. And we know Lonnie Walker is capable of knocking down threes. We know Lonnie Walker is capable of finishing in the fast break and making good decisions for the most part in the fast break. We know Lonnie Walker is a capable ball handler in pick and roll situations to not only create for himself, but create for others, even in some pick and roll situations where they were letting Lonnie Walker be the primary ball handler and let LeBron James be the roll man. They couldn't peel off LeBron. If they did, that would have going to be an easy oop that he would have threw to LeBron, but he finished with the floater on one occasion. And of course, we know Lonnie Walker set the tone in the fourth quarter, because I believe the Lakers were down by 7 going into the fourth. And by them being down by 7 going into the fourth, by them being down by 7 going into the fourth, he came out and hit that first 3. And by hitting that first 3, that kind of gave them a little bit of momentum. And then I think it was a LeBron James shot, and then followed by 2 Austin Reeves shots that really put the Lakers right back in control of the game and put them up by 2 early on into the fourth quarter. And then from there, I won't say it was a wrap. It was kind of went back and forth, as we all know. But Lonnie Walker, 15 fourth quarter points. I mean, Lonnie Walker overall for the game, 6 out of 9, 67%, 1 from 3, plus 8 for the game. He had 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. A well-rounded game by Lonnie Walker. I look for him to get a lot more playing time when they go back to the Bay tomorrow night. So that is going to be something that's going to be interesting. And of course, a lot of people alluded to him having the fresher legs, and that's why he went with him. I won't necessarily say that, because there's a lot of younger players on that team. It was just adjustments being made, because if you look at it on yesterday, I think Vanderbilt only had 11 minutes. It was a -7. And we all know everybody was heaping heavy praise onto Jared Vanderbilt at the beginning of the series because of his ability to guard Steph Curry. and, you know, he would chase them. And when they were doing pick and rolls, he was getting around. First, before they were doing a lot of pick and rolls in game one, they were running a lot more screens where Steph wasn't even the primary ball handler in most cases as far as initiating the offense. And Jared Vanderbilt was doing a great job of what you call top funneling and getting around screens and getting when Steph Curry was getting downhill and still being able to track his shots down from behind, kind of like LeBron James did last night when he tracked Steph Curry down from behind. Tracked Steph Curry down from behind and blocked this little shot and said, "Get that shot out of here." You understand me? I'm sorry, y'all. When I just said LeBron James like that, I might have got something caught up in my throat. No, I'm just playing. Hey, that's an inside joke for anybody who's been following me for a while. I know that was probably funny to y'all. But anyway, as we continue on, Austin Reeves had a hell of a game as well. You got to give it up for Austin Reeves. He had a 4-point stretch in that fourth quarter last night where he initiated offense, hit a nice step back shot over Klay Thompson, which was great. You know, Austin Reeves, 34 minutes last night, 21 points. They were quiet points, but they were points nonetheless. 21, 2, and 4. Austin Reeves, 7 out of 15, shooting 47%. And he was 3 from 6 from 3 on yesterday. He had been letting us down as far as shooting the 3-point ball. It hadn't been, you know, looking good for him lately. And I was saying that the legs were starting to get away from him. People was thinking maybe he was hitting a sophomore year wall, rookie wall, whatever you want to call it. But I'm telling you, it's because he's been soaking those feet in ice because of how much he had to chase around a Klay Thompson. And then as we saw on last game as well as this game, they moved Vanderbilt more over onto Draymond Green, let him be the float man, allowing Austin Reeves to be the primary defender on Steph, while he was the primary defender on Steph, bringing AD out of the paint. But while Steph Curry was making these lateral moves to the sideline, drawing Austin Reeves and Anthony Davis away from the basket, Golden State had constant cutters. A lot of the Lakers, all eyes were drawn onto Steph Curry. And, of course, he was making beautiful passes. The one pass to DiVincenzo, whatever, y'all know what I'm trying to say, was immaculate when he got down in that paint and just flipped it behind his back to him. And the finish from DiVincenzo was nice, too. But that's kind of going back to what I'm saying. Why I think the Lakers going to have firm control of this series is because I already said they had too much length. They already had the best rim protector in basketball. They have a Swiss Army knife in that of LeBron James who can do any and everything. They got the cleanup man in Jared Vanderbilt who can go out and clean things up and play defensively and do what they need to do. Of course, you have Austin Reeves who can initiate offense and play damn good defense. And I don't think Austin Reeves, especially being as young as he is, sign that man. Because I'm telling you right now, there is no way that you should not sign him the way he is playing defense on Klay Thompson. If you looked at it on yesterday, I want to say Klay Thompson had 42 minutes, was 3 out of 11, only had 9 points. You talking about a dynasty Golden State Warriors, and you talking about a Klay Thompson who said he couldn't wait to go play in LA and want to show up and show out against the Lakers, held to 9 points. And you have to give praise. And I tell y'all what, man, if D'Lo would even showed up and played half as good as he's been playing through the first few games of this series, then this game wouldn't even been close yesterday. D'Lo yesterday, 1 out of 10 from shooting. Terrible game. As a result, D'Lo lost a lot of minutes to Schroeder. I want to say Schroeder had 35 minutes. D'Lo only had, I think, 30 minutes. But Schroeder, decent game for Schroeder. 5 out of 9, 56%. Didn't hit a 3. He was 0 for 2 from 3, but he had the highest plus minus of anybody on the team. And we got to give mad props out to him for playing defense on Steph Curry because he played great defense when he was matched up against Steph Curry as well. But Steph Curry was making great shots. So now I want to get into the waning portions of the game, which was very important. So when you talk about the very end of the game, of course, before we even talk about the last couple of plays, from the Warriors standpoint, I want to point out something about LeBron James, because everybody want to say this man is not clutch and he not this and he not that, but LeBron had a couple of big plays down the stretch as well in the fourth quarter. If you really think about it, I'm going to talk about what he did on that last play defensively in just a moment, which was very key. If many of you haven't probably already seen it, it's been floating around, but I noticed that from the very giddy up when I saw it. But before we get into that, I want to say LeBron James, who was fouled by Steph Curry, almost had the and one, but he continuously, if y'all didn't notice, they start playing a whole lot of 4 or 5 pick and roll action because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the Warriors, their philosophy on defense is kind of what like Frank Vogel's philosophy was last year. Switch everything, switch. And they constantly switch. So they kept getting Steph switched onto LeBron. And you know LeBron James was going to take full out advantage of that. And that is precisely what he did. Get into the hole on Steph Curry, drawing the contact, getting to the line, which should have been an and one had he took his time. But when he went to the line, now think about this, y'all. When he went to the line, when LeBron made both of those free throws, it was what? He made it 102-99. Had he missed one of those free throws, it only would have been a 2-point lead. Had he missed both of those free throws, it only would have been a 1-point lead. But by him hitting those 2 big free throws with under a minute left in the game, clutch free throw shots by LeBron James, which the Lakers, by the way, shot 100% from the free throw line, which is crazy, which they think about it. Had they not done that, they could have very well lost. The Warriors only missed 3, 9 out of 12, Lakers 20 out of 20. I don't want to hear any crying about the free throw line anymore. We know who the more aggressive team is. At this point, it was damn near even as far as the free throws were concerned. You're talking about 20 out of 20 compared to 9 out of 12. So not a huge discrepancy in my opinion. But like I was saying, LeBron James hit those 2 big free throws. But, you know, we're not taking away from what Lonnie Walker was able to do, because Lonnie Walker hit a lot of big shots in that fourth quarter to get them in the lead and put them in position to be able to take care of business. But going back to what I was saying on the last couple of plays of the game, once LeBron had put them up by 3, we already knew what was going to happen. You know, he put them up by 3, 102-99, and we ultimately know what the score was of the game. Of course, 104-101. The Warriors ended up, you know, with a couple more points. But at the end of the day, we know after that, LeBron James, when he got matched up with Wiggins on that last play, the hammer play, we'll talk about that in a second. But right before that play, we had Steph Curry matched up with Anthony Davis. He got caught on the switch. Anthony Davis came out. Steph Curry almost lost the ball. Anthony Davis pressured him. He dribbled in a little bit more. He thought he could go around AD, but AD with the great lateral speed, length, with his arms out and everything, contested a pull-up by Steph Curry, which quite frankly was halfway down, y'all. Quite frankly was halfway down, and I want to say that would have tied the game, I think, at that point. But, of course, he missed that shot, or either that would have cut it to 1 with still time left. Either way, I can't quite remember at the time, but he missed that shot. And once he missed that shot, of course, they got it back. Oh, yeah, this time that would only cut it to 1 with time left, but he missed that shot. They got it back. Steph Curry goes for the 3, long 3. Anthony Davis get caught on him again. He settles. He still has 7 to 8 seconds left on the clock, but he settled. And by settling, he just couldn't get the shot. But, of course, they got the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds. They retain possession. And then, of course, this is the play that I want to talk about with LeBron James on the last play of the game. The Warriors get that hammer action in which you have a couple of different options. It's kind of shaped like a hammer is why they call it that. You have somebody peeling down the middle, who would have been Andrew Wiggins, who would have peeled down the middle in order to get a quick 2, if you can get a quick 2. But the main option was Clay in the corner for the 3. LeBron James immediately noticed it. It was funny in the press conference when they was asking about it. AD and LeBron was up there together. And, of course, AD said, oh, yeah, we saw that. And we went to the corner with the hammer play, this and that. But you could tell LeBron was looking like, hey, man, I'm the one who told you to get your over there in that corner and shut it down, because I recognized it immediately, in which he did. So go back and look at that if you haven't. It's on Twitter. It's everywhere. You can see LeBron James switch over onto Wiggins. And when he switched on to Wiggins, he pointed AD and directed him over into the corner. By him doing that, that took away the pass from Draymond Green, who was rolling that way and got caught in the air, because that pass was set up for Klay Thompson for the corner 3 all day, because Steph was going to be more of a decoy on that play, and they were going to get it to Klay Thompson for the corner 3, but they simply could not do it because of LeBron James' high IQ directing Anthony Davis that direction and taking away Andrew Wiggins' action. And at the end of the day, they turn it over. But, of course, they get in the jump ball. And, of course, we know after that, Anthony Davis knocks it actually back to Steph Curry, which is crazy. He should have easily been able to win that jump ball. But Steph Curry, I don't know, trying to flop or whatever he's trying to do when he fell down LeBron James made sure he didn't touch him. He probably could have called a timeout. A lot of people don't know what he was trying to do. I didn't see the press conference afterwards if he was asked that particular question, but I think maybe he was lifting the ball back over his head and was going to call a timeout. I don't know, but he saw LeBron James standing over him, and LeBron was going to swipe for the ball too, so maybe he was just trying to kick it back to somebody else real quick. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it simply did not work out for the Golden State Warriors. Now, this series could very easily be, tied 2-2, or it could be Golden State 3-1 the other direction, just depending on the bouncing of the ball. Because I'm telling you what, that game one, that ferocious comeback by Golden State in the fourth quarter, they could have won that game. And then, of course, on yesterday, they could have won that game. So that's just the way the playoffs are. I'm not writing the Golden State Warriors off yet. I think they can still go back and win a game at home on Wednesday night. But I look for the Lakers to take care of business and to really put their foot right on the gas and go ahead and take care of that, because what they need now is rest. LeBron James needs rest, and especially going to Denver. If Denver wins that series, they're going to have to go to a high altitude of Denver, hardest place in the NBA to play, especially when you're at the age that LeBron James is at. I know a lot of people saying LeBron James has lost his step. Father Time finally caught up with him. But if you look at LeBron James on last night, still 43 minutes for a 38-year-old, 43 hard-fought minutes. Still got you 27 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, only 10 out of 25, 40%, 2 from 9 from 3, not particularly great, but 5 from 5 from the free throw line. And like I said, hit some clutch free throws. And I'm telling y'all right now, LeBron probably should have rested that foot and had surgery, or maybe not came back, but he can see that this is a championship aspiration team. So that's why he's giving it his all to try to win a championship. And I told y'all at the trade deadline what was going to happen. And I put my little bread on the Los Angeles Lakers back then. Right now it's 4-1. I got it to when it was like, y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not going to jinx myself or say anything, but I got in early because I saw something and I knew what Anthony Davis and LeBron James are capable of. And if you notice, during this playoff run, he's playing them a lot more on the court together than he would do in the regular season when they stagger a lot of those minutes, because he's trying to preserve and keep one of his best players on the floor at all times. But at this time, when you're going against the creme de la creme of the defending champions, Golden State Warriors, it's no time for rest. Ain't no breaks. You understand me? So like I said, mad shouts out to Lonnie Walker. Wiggins got held in check for the most part. I mean, phenomenal. People don't want to give LeBron credit, but just like last game, hustling back, knocking balls out of bounds, blocking Steph Curry from behind this past game, just being everywhere he needs to be. The high IQ play at the end to have the wherewithal, because I'm telling you what, Clay would have hit that three, y'all. I'm telling you right now. I was wanting the Lakers to foul, so they wouldn't even get a chance to get to the line, but LeBron James saw the play. He's seen it 1,000 times. I think he even joked that Dallas or somebody else might have beat them on that play, but he didn't really want to bring that up. But we got to talk a little bit about Jordan Poole, too. Only 10 minutes, 0 points. I don't think, as of right now, he might not have a very bright future with Golden State. I've seen him arguing with Golden State assistant coaches. So who knows how that's going to go. But if you look at it last night, it was one of the most evenly contested games that we've seen in a long time. You look at the Lakers, 39 out of 86, 45% from field goal range. The Warriors, 46%, 40 out of 86. Both of them had 86 shot attempts. But then one of the main things I want to key in on that I totally forgot about until I'm looking at the statistics here is that of the 3 points, 6 out of 25 for the Lakers, only 24%, but only 12 out of 41 for Golden State, because that defense is tenacious when it's talking about getting out there and closing out on your man. But not only that, the Lakers didn't fall into the trap of shooting a lot of threes. They did so last game. I think Golden State might have only attempted 10 more threes than them. But this game, as you can see, they only shot 25 threes, and they shot 41 threes. What's that? 35, 40. That's, 16 more threes in the whole game that they attempted, and they didn't get it from a high clip. Both of them had 14 turnovers. You're talking about almost even points in the paint, even though Golden State led that a lot in the first half before the Lakers made their adjustments. But, at the end of the day, LeBron read that hammer play, put the hammer down, and it is what it is. We look forward to Game 6 on Wednesday. We look forward to a Boston-Philadelphia matchup tonight in a series that's tied 2-2. And for everybody who talked that junk about the bubble championship, this, that, and the third, we now see Miami up 3-1 and the Lakers up 3-1. So tell me how you love that. And that's what we're going to lead. That's what we're leaving for the haters. So those of you who stuck around for the entirety of the program, I much appreciate you all. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, hit that bell notification, and keep joining me every day as we go through this playoff journey on through the end of the season with or without whoever, because we got to keep making it to the very end. And as always, this is your boy, Be New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.